Happy Onewheel Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're doing fabulous today. I hope you are enjoying the day. I have no idea who you voted for, but hey, it's all done. That drama's behind us, right? We're moving on. Is that how it works? Is that simple? But I hope you're doing well today. We're not going to just talk about political stuff, but I think you have to speak to it because in the United States, it's a big deal. We have Lily to my left who is injured. Lily, tell us, how are you doing?
I'm good. I hurt my back, but I'm fine.
You should have seen the stunt she was trying to pull on her one wheel. It was such a magical trick. Actually, when was the last time you actually rode your one wheel? Yeah, exactly.
No, it was just
when
like
you
last
say
week.
you rode it last week.
The
Where?
before.
Where?
At home.
No, I don't believe that. We need some proof. We are joined also by my bride, who is a fabulous human being who loves to sing. She's gonna give us a ditty right after she says hello.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a
That's
great day.
the song?
Is that a song?
You know, you said
Goodness.
a ditty. A ditty is like a jingle.
A
Hi,
jingle. Okay, Dan in the chat, he says, and I do quote, and I shall read, super tired from a late night, but feeling great today. And is the emoji a winky smiley face?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Wonder what he's saying there. I think he's saying something there. I don't know. Maybe you can elaborate for all of us
Maybe
that
you
don't.
can call him after and ask.
Oh, is that right? Okay, Dan, good to see you in the chat. Everybody else is going to jump in the chat. Today, it's going to be a little bit more low-key, low vibes. Last week was intense. I had an extra amount of time with my counselor after last
Seriously,
week.
I hope you all went on that one-wheel ride, therapy ride.
Yeah, therapy, right? Because,
Yeah.
wow.
Y'all needed it.
What a
Needed
conversation.
Has the one-wheel community simmered a
No,
bit?
I don't think so. That video has really taken off some steam. Last I checked was 12,000 views.
Wow.
So it's doing quite well. It's stirring up some things enough to just people, that weren't aware of the conversation that has been over the last year or so. They are into it now, and they are doing a deep dive and educating themselves on what's happening. But we did that last week. This week, we're going to talk about avoid these big one-wheel mistakes in each season. And there's some. Okay, as we are riders around here, we ride in all 4 seasons. Minnesota seems to only have 3. We have spring, we have summer, and we have winter. So,
No fall?
no, not really. I mean,
Because it's so short.
did we just get snow in fall? Like 4 inches
Yeah, but
last week.
fall seemed pretty nice this year.
And then it
Seemed like
wasn't.
The
I mean,
colors were
It's
beautiful.
only been
Beautiful.
rainy this last week.
Rainy.
And that's to be expected when you're expecting
Lots of frost
snow.
this morning,
yeah.
though.
Frost today, ice everywhere.
frost.
The lake was steaming. The swans were squawking. I don't know if they actually squawk. What do they do?
That's a goose. A goose honks.
Yeah, so what's a swan do? Don't tell me swan dives either. Okay, but anyways, it has been quite nice here. Let's just do a thermometer check on the Christmas vibes. Lily, have you watched any Christmas movies or listened to Christmas music?
I have listened to Christmas music without consent in Target. And
Without
Oh,
consent.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, they were playing Christmas music.
Okay.
And I watched the new Lindsay Lohan movie trailer, like Something Secret,
Oh yeah, we just saw that yesterday.
with the guy
Yeah.
from Ian Harding.
On Netflix.
He was in Pretty Little Liars.
What do you think?
Oh.
What do you
Looks
think?
Cute.
Cute.
Looks cute.
Okay, so you,
I like Lindsay Lohan.
I
coming
like
with
that
the
she's
Christmas.
doing another Christmas
did you
movie.
watch the one last year?
Yeah.
That was pretty
Oh,
good.
I like that.
Christmas,
You know
yeah.
what? Find your place, stay in your lane. That's what she needed to do to come back into. It's my opinion, at least.
Well, I'm gonna
Has
Interesting.
she
go
done
on-
other things?
I don't
No.
know that she's done anything. I'm just
Christmas
gonna go
movies
on,
are good
it's
on her.
joyful.
She's-
It's happy. It
It's
is not
low
the
key.
typical Hollywood
Yeah.
that you'd get caught up into.
It's low key. Oh, we got
So.
no SD battery sign. I can't reach that camera though. It's
On
too
which
small.
one? How's
On
there a
the-
low battery
But
sign?
thanks for using the wide shot. We love that.
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah,
Wide
great job.
shot.
Is it still blinking? Let's
No.
put it up there
Yeah,
again.
it shows
That's
it.
odd that we would have. They throw that up there
See
again.
it?
Let's see it. Oh yeah, we need to. We can fix that at some
Scalps are
point.
looking good though.
Yeah, that's good. Real good. We can
Good.
fix that here in a
Thank you,
second.
Helen.
We'll talk to the producers. I'm
Anybody-
trying to find my water bottle.
My
Yeah.
wife and son have already decorated the inside of my house with Christmas stuff. I'm not opposed to it.
But why aren't you not?
I just like to get to Thanksgiving. I'm the kind of person I like to decorate on Thanksgiving after you eat.
What?
That's the vibes I like.
No.
That's what I like.
Okay, that's cool. Somebody just dropped a comment on the last video saying this conversation, like last week's, about one wheel being a monopoly and stuff, and they said this conversation is way more complicated and in depth than this video leads on to. Wow, we didn't do a deep dive enough last week. What could you more say? Well, like, seriously.
Oh, there's
Our
lots.
conversation, we didn't go deep enough.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're suggesting that we need to bring in, I don't know,
Well,
lawyers.
Well,
Other people?
maybe people that are involved, whether it be in the video or like actual with Future Motion, like maybe a little bit more of people that are in the industry building things.
Yeah,
maybe.
okay. I'm going to click it. Wow, I didn't realize that we had
it's
so
on
many.
the other video.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
Go look too. Okay.
Here it is. This is at NY Skate 47. Do you think they're a New York skater and they're 47 years old?
Wow, lots of comments.
That'd be my guess. Here we go. This is a much larger topic than what is covered in this video. I love your videos and passion you bring to the community, but this one feels very under-researched. I urge you to put in some time reading customer stories to get a better understanding before supporting a company like Future Motion on a platform like the one you have. I could care less about the patent BS. I just wish Future Motion would treat its customers with some respect and address their countless quality control issues. I love the Onewheel and love Future Motion, but Future Motion has done everything in their power to make sure I go to Vesk for my next board.
Someone called you a puppet.
Where on what one? Well, let's just read them. Let's have a good laugh today.
Down.
Okay,
Scot
we're gonna keep
equals
reading.
Puppet. Dang, these people.
These are the comments from last week's video. This is like a
mean.
continuation. I don't know much more research. Like, I've read a lot, and I'm not a guy that just brings forward people's comments and research. Like obviously we're reading their comments today, but I'm saying I'm not going to go pick up someone's complaint about an organization and not know the details because everyone, there's two sides to the story. In my current job, the role I do in my day job is I sit down across the table with a lot of human beings, great quality people. And sometimes I sit down with married couples and they will give me their stories and I hear side A and side B and they're somewhat close to the same thing, but some massive details are left out, which changes the tide of the conversation often. And so when you read these comments and you read those bullet point statements about Future Motion and I don't know the details on Future Motion side, it's hard to know all the details and make an educated opinion. So we don't. Okay, moving on.
Oh my gosh, some of these are very long comments.
Well, they're very passionate about that. That's why we're going to give some time to it. Okay. Hey, what's up? This is the creator of the video.
Yeah, it is. I see that now.
Feels so real to hear you guys talk about my video on this podcast.
That's all they said. Nice.
Wow.
Easy does it.
It was very, again, we gave mad props. We did not bash him, nor do we need to. The production of that video is, so good. Let's see what the replies say there. I don't know if no one's going to do this deep dive. We're just having a little bit of fun today. You did a great job, brother. And it needed to be aired, especially with the timing. Neat how yours appears more objective and factual research than there's what feels like misinformed sponsored content paid by Future Motion.
I think they're talking about us.
You're referring to us, that we are sponsored, we are paid. That is not true.
Not true. Not true.
I do not get to file taxes as a Onewheel employee.
But it also just goes to show you it's one extreme to the other. It's people that are like, no, you didn't do enough, da 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 da. Oh, nope, you did great. You put it out there very objectively. You're just never gonna win.
Okay, here's somebody. This Matthew 9523. Seriously, what was your first email ever, Lil? Do you remember?
Wiener95.
Okay, still got it?
No.
Okay. But that's not a
Or
bad
no,
email.
it was Lil Wiener.
Oh, yeah, you can't use that. That's totally inappropriate.
It's my old last name. For anyone
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
wondering.
but the way you put it was,
Anyway,
that's you being a
that
junior
long.
hire thing. This would be hilarious. And then she became an adult woman. Not appropriate. Do
was
you remember
yours?
your first one?
I do.
What was it?
HESB21@gmail.
Yeah, that's kind of boring.
Nice.
Actually, I think it was at Yahoo.
I think mine was like too fast to catch.
Mine now is HESM21. Because my last name.
Yeah, now mine's all boring. Scot Mendenhall or Scott Men. It's not really. Anyways, okay. I rarely comment on these videos, although I often watch them and appreciate the passion you bring to the scene. However, I don't even know where to begin in addressing the thorough inadequate research and at times baffling misunderstanding regarding the issues at hand. Granted, no one but you to be a legal expert regarding anonymous imposed on any. Can someone help me out with this?
Anonymous
imposed on anyone for holding a patent, but that is simply the tip of the iceberg on the numerous factual errors that you seem to under the importance of. Or impressions of.
Well, no one's participating in here.
Oh.
Well, except for East 905 Skim says we need Kyle and Jack to appear on Joe Rogan. LOL. Joe Rogan would need to do so much research.
This Matthew or Matt Weber says, I'm legitimately not trying to throw shade here, but I highly advise avoiding trying to broach subjects of which you grasp it's tremendous at best. Okay. And stick to the fun, light-hearted, everyday man reviews in rare commentator. I don't even know. I just can't even.
They're just saying don't get in the drama.
Yeah, and then it continues on.
I feel like
it's pretty long.
You didn't get in the drama, you'd hear about not getting in the drama. And I feel like if you didn't get in the drama, it would be even more obvious as to like paid by Onewheel. Not obvious because you're not, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments on this video.
For that.
Right.
I here's the deal. And I'm reading this in real time. I've not gone back to this video. That probably makes me a bad YouTuber that I didn't go back and read these. I should do. But anyways, continue to draw comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read some more.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Is there a link
Pretty
to the video somebody's
time-consuming.
asking for?
Yeah, someone tried copy and pasting it in that comment thread, and they couldn't, and said we were
not allowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Put it in the YouTube channel.
Well,
they ended up putting the title of the video so they could manual search it.
I don't know why they can't put the link in it. That's nothing to us. I don't have some setting that doesn't allow people to put links in there.
Monopolizing this.
Yeah, I'm controlling it. Thankfully, I switched to Vesk a year ago, completely out of a future motion ecosystem. Man, I really like the ecosystem, and I got no problems with Vesk. If I got an XR, if somebody came along because I don't know how to do it.
I'm probably not the best person to read through these.
Why is it getting you feisty?
Are you gonna
How do you
comment
feel?
back and fight?
How do you feel, babe? Tell us.
Maybe.
How are you feeling?
No, I feel great. It's good.
What's getting you amped about
This is just the issue with all social media. You just think you can say whatever you want, and there's no repercussion, and it's just like, well, good thing I've got tough skin and you've got tough skin, and it's like, hey, we can always learn more.
People just assume a lot of things.
Yeah. Somebody says there's a huge difference between what you can, in capital, do, and what you shouldn't do. That's pretty rich of you to say that everyone should follow the rules, future promotion included. There's quite a bit of litigation aimed at them. And it's not only just people that had an issue with the product, but has been royally screwed over and hurt by them. They are the worst at stepping up and taking responsibility. What happened to we are too stupid to change out our batteries module. Tilt. Well, okay, I'm not going to continue to read. It's just funny, like, even that comment I read, and it's like, if a future motion is doing something wrong and there's litigation going on, then there's somebody that's going to figure that one out. That's what I'm trying to say. If somebody's not playing by the rules and somebody's going to have a legitimate complaint that holds up in some kind of courtroom, fine. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who just ticked off that they don't like, don't get their way, don't get digital tilt. Great. I can make suggestions about anything, like the bike I ride. Oh, I want it to be like this and this, but I'm not the maker of it. But I'm not upset at them if they don't do what I want. That's just where we are as a world. There's gonna be a big bold news headline thing that'll really probably piss some people off. But at the end of the day, we just got a lot of people that if people don't do what I suggest or my opinion, then we want to take our ball, go home and complain about it and tell how bad they are.
Preach.
And it's like, get over it. Like, people don't need to listen to everybody's opinion. You can have an opinion and share it, but don't be upset if somebody doesn't do it. Be like, okay, cool. They didn't like mine. They can't. I don't know all the situation. But people are getting upset about some of the craziest things here. Like I'm not an educated guy in it. That's their kind way of saying I'm an idiot or stupid. And it's like, no, genuinely, there's a court system built for things like this. If there's really legitimate reasons to sue Onewheel, then they're going to lose and have to sort it out and pay. That's at the end, but that's true of Float Wheel. That's true. That's just the truth.
Well, and where people get up in arms is we're gonna try to say that I don't think intentionally that Future Motion is out to hurt people, nor would I think that Float Wheel or the Float Life or any is like, I'm always gonna assume the best, that they're not intentionally trying to like hurt, but there's a way of business, and
Yeah.
follow the way of business.
Oh man, this comment just came in. I chuckled how because East 905 Skim says, "You don't come with a cup holders? Worst company ever."
Way to make it light again.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
feel like I got to go back to reading those comments.
Now?
Yeah, I just feel like it's kind of entertaining at the moment.
Well, I mean, we did say that the topic we had at hand last week was likely meant for multiple podcasts and other people, obviously.
Yeah, so let's.
People were more engaged last week, though.
Well, the title, it's all about the title drives because you got 15 people in the chat today because of all these big one-wheel mistakes in each season. That's for a noob, somebody that's going to be getting a new one-wheel that's going to search these things. So welcome aboard. Well, we probably should change the title to responding to...
Going back to all the comments. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so I'll pick out a comment. Let's read it out loud. Yeah, Lil, you'll pick it out.
Sure.
And then we'll just kind of keep going and have a little bit of a laugh. It's hard for me to keep talking and read it and be prepared to read it smoothly, so we're going to turn it over to them to read. There's a bunch of comments there, and we might take some time to answer because I'm not looking to pick a fight. That's definitely not what we're doing here. But we are going to have a bit of a smile at it. Thank you for those that are jumping into the conversation today and having fun with us. How you got?
I haven't gotten all the way through this, but I'll just throw it out there. Digital Tail is the perfect example of Future Motion not working with their riding community. I have to hack apart a bumper and add washers to get the ride I enjoy with WTF rails. I have a vest board that just does it. I understand they have parents to or it's supposed to say patents, I think, to protect, a profit to make, to continue to survive. But there has been too many instances of them covering up known issues.
Yeah, well, go to the Digital Tilt. You want Digital Tilt because you bought an aftermarket product, so you want them to support the aftermarket product. So to me, it's like, I wouldn't mind having Digital Tilt, but I ain't...
We even talked about that.
I'm not upset about it.
We have some aftermarket products that we weren't able to do the Digital Tilt. I don't blame them for that, for wanting to keep it where you gotta rely on their products because they make money off the one wheel. They shouldn't be able to.
I'm not upset at
it for everybody else.
I'm not upset that GoPro in their latest drop of a GoPro, they haven't even touched their platform for their 360 camera, and we like them. And they haven't done it for 5-6 years. I'm not upset at them going, I'm out. It's like, okay, you know what's all going on. That clearly isn't the direction you're going. You have a vision for where you're headed. I have an opinion, but I'm not upset at them. Sony cameras, that's what you're viewing through all the vlogs we do around here. Sony cameras. The way they do their mics and lenses. And, I can't use these other lenses. They're cheaper over here. I can only put... I'm not upset about them. I'm bought into the platform. They're not supporting another brand's lens. That's okay. But that's just not popular. Everybody wants, I think the saying, their cake and eat it too. Is that the saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. Lil, can you read the next comment?
The next one or just...
Oh, you were picking through them? We could just buzz through them. Okay.
Well, some of these are very, very long.
Yeah, we can just start at the beginning. Go ahead with what you had.
I was at the end. Okay. Well...
Some of them are not worth...
What?
I mean,
those sound like the
it's
best.
meaning just like no, not. It's just like the video. You know.
Yeah, this one is saying what I would like to see in the future is multiple brands of one wheels, but they're all legal and follow a minimum safety standard. We would need a whole new agency to handle this. Maybe One Wheel could turn into something like FIS, and if a company wanted to sell their one wheel board, it must comply to a minimum standard. FW or FM has already said they would never be down for this because they wouldn't. Float Wheel has already said they would never be down for this because they wouldn't be able to compete. And then someone commented back and said, sounds like a FM fanboy. Like you can't even like, it feels like you can't, not necessarily side, but you can't even like see both ways without being called a fanboy or like it just seems very one-sided is what I'm gathering.
I mean, there's just not, I don't know that there's much appreciation for, it's hard. This one is really, really long. So I was trying to get through it so that I knew even how to read it, but it's really long.
Some of them are really long. Like people really took the time to type this out.
Great topic. I watched that video too and found I think we might have already read this one. The video creator clearly does not understand trademarks or patents at all. I did my best to explain. In fact, here's my comment on the video for those that haven't seen it. By the way, ignore what people say on Reddit. What people think is what people think is irrelevant. It is what people know that matters. Okay, so this is Onewheel Avenue that left that comment, but then he left a comment on the video, it looks like. This one's real long as well.
Yeah, which I love the passion.
Thank you for engaging in the conversation.
Yeah, I want this to be a platform, especially when we bring it. I just went and changed the title of this video, Boycott Future Motion follow-up, then this, just so potentially more people will click on it, because we're starting with your comments, so we're reading them live with you and giving you our verbal. I'm much better a talker than a typer, so it's just easier.
This one says, Future Motion didn't invent Onewheel. They don't deserve the patent. This must be how Nikola and Tesla felt.
Yeah, that is what people say, that it's been around forever, and somebody else. I get that, but
that's fine. But when you do the patent, that creates.
It's over.
That's when it's.
Right, it's over now. Like that's old news. Move on. Like that's some of the stuff where somebody's saying I'm not fully up to speed on what's going on in this topic, because some of it's like, okay, there's no way to either prove that. Two, we're past that. We're moving on, and some of this is just let's move on. Again, you don't have Vesk without Onewheel. I think there's so many of us that are forgetting that. I'm not poo-pooing Vesk.
This is a really good. This is Onewheel Avenue, who just left a really long comment that I was reading part of, and he was saying that they commented on the video. He's responding to the didn't invent Onewheel. Clearly, you don't understand patents. You can only patent a specific design, not an idea. Yeah, right. Deca patented a single-wheeled scooter before Future Motion. However, they can't sue Future Motion because FM did not infringe on the patent. Likewise, if Floatwheel avoided FM's patent, they wouldn't be in the legal mess that they are in now. So that's a huge thing that we may never fully understand, nor could you actually maybe even do all the research for it of what the patents are. But if you infringe on a patent, that's where the legal issues come. So they still, he's commenting, still could have developed the float wheel. Imagine that if they would have stayed without.
Played inside the rules. That's what I'm just kind of try to get on this. People are saying I'm not educated because I'm not using all the jargon. I'm just trying to be as plain so everyone understands it. Yes, we could deep dive and get really technical inside of this stuff, but it's like you're going to lose people. It's trying to make this entire conversation make sense. As people are brand new to it, figuring it out. So,
patents, Full Send Luke says this: patents are a monopoly for a fee.
Yeah, is that on the video. Oh,
yeah,
that's what That's what he's saying is patents are a monopoly for a fee.
Right. It means as long as I patent it, I control something.
Right.
You can't do something. Right. And again, we're not talking about our patents. Should you be able to get them or not? You can. So we're not. That's not changing at the moment. That's not even up for debate. It's just, if you're going to play the game, you better play by the rules and patent the things you want to protect and then protect your patents. That's.
Dan says if Apple and Android phones can coexist, why can't we figure something out?
Yeah, because right now, I mean, but it's not even us figuring it out, right? Like, it is legitimately, it is Future Motion.
It's these companies.
It's the companies, but I don't think, again, I just get to say things I think. I don't think Future Motion wants to sit down with the players that are bashing Onewheel.
But you don't know that.
I don't know that. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just putting myself into it. I'm like, yeah, and if people are bashing me, do I want to come on and go, hey, yeah, sure, sounds like you got my best interest and you want me to win. So yeah, let's work together. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's happening. Any other ones? How that you're... She's over there reading and twisting her hair. That just means she's getting irritated.
Is that what that means?
No, it's this one. This is East 905.
I think
Skims
I
5.
read.
Yeah, and,
Problem with
Well, I
comparing-
read
and
the-
they're in the chat.
I read the comment of the comment.
Yeah, this is. I mean, he just left another comment a little bit ago, a few days ago. The problem with comparing the Burton patent with the Onewheel patent is companies like Float Wheel are coming from China under the radar and follow absolutely no laws. Onewheel is trying to do this legally and make one-wheeling legit. They have a right to enforce their patent because they literally cannot compete with unrestricted, unregulated boards made with cheap Chinese labor. That will start a whole nother
Yeah,
topic.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then he goes on to say, what I would like to see in the future is multiple brands of Onewheel. So the same guy saying the same thing, but
That's what I read.
yeah, but all their legal and minimum safety standard. That's what.
But
was
then he
read.
gets called a fanboy.
Then he gets called a fanboy. If
Right.
Future Motion had a genuine patent without prior art, then it would be fine for them to defend against the competition. The argument is flawed if you just think about China labor part.
Yeah, I mean...
That's not his only thing. That's not the only thing that's being said in
Right.
that. So that, yeah.
I do think some of it comes down to people just hate when people... Not everybody, but some of the keyboard warriors start hating when people get successful, and they just want to knock them down. And that is part of the problem we have is, yes, Future Motion brought something that we're all enjoying. This podcast wouldn't even be around, or this YouTube channel wouldn't be doing what it's doing if it wasn't for Future Motion creating a Onewheel. And it's just like we're forgetting some of these things. I think it's easier to listen to people that have sensible, calm, rational thoughts being typed out instead of, I want to pick a fight with you, you're an idiot, when actually they develop and running quite a successful business. So I don't think they fall in the idiot category. And for us wanting them to support third-party stuff, which I get, I know what the complaint is. At some point, it was like, wait, it looks like they're actually working against the third-party software stuff because they're actually making it now impossible for me to tilt my board or be able to tweak their software. Maybe so. But I also think they're also trying to protect themselves from continuing to get sued for people being launched off their boards and things like that, which they fixed that. But if people go in there and tampering with the software, and right, it gets messy again. And so I just think there's so much stuff that all of us, myself included, don't even know what's going on. So, I mean, I hope, again, I want this to be a platform where both sides get to share, and I'm just having a one-sided conversation with a lens through a camera to your keyboard and things like that. You're just trying to bring it into a bit of a tangible thing. Again, I don't know how it gets resolved. I'm not in those rooms to figure out how to get it solved. I'm just here saying, hey, this is what's happening. Let's rock and roll to make the community better. Because, I mean, think about it. If somebody's buying this holiday season a board and then they find out this entire thing's happening, they're not going to want to show up to group rides or going to want to show up to races because it's like, and when I get there, is this going to be a battle?
Yeah.
It's trying to bring the community together and not divide the community.
Well, I think in some ways, and this can go in any way it needs to be taken. This is across the board too. It's hard pressed to find appreciation for somebody that thinks different. And so it's just our hopes here, we always, we are not bashing Float Wheel. We are not, we're
right.
just trying to bring up conversation, let people share their thoughts, and we are okay having our thoughts too.
Right. We have a platform where we get to say it out loud and put it in front of people, which then obviously people are not fully on board with, nor do I expect everyone to be fully on board with what we're saying. I just would like, at the end of the day, play by the rules, and that's where everybody's going, well, Onewheel doesn't see, but what laws are they breaking? What patent? If they're getting sued and losing, fine, then they're doing something wrong. But people can sue anybody. Doesn't mean that the person suing the individual has any ground to do such. They just can do it. And then the court has to decide, is there any ground to stand on for this lawsuit and figure those things out? Let's switch the topic. Let's as we.
I'm getting back to our live chat now. So, Christy, great to see you in here. Christy Miller's logging in with us today. And Garrett, you got a new name.
Yeah, Garrett, you changed it. I thought I saw that because he put into the parentheses the Garrett.
Yeah, so that we know that it's him.
Yeah, why don't we just call ourselves Garrett? I'll just let that sink in there for a second.
But that's part of the fun of social
If you
media.
packed up your stuff, Garrett, and moved here, yeah, are you on your way? That's what we're just waiting for as well. Okay, so the seasons are wonderful to ride one wheels. Holly, I know you haven't rode very much.
I rode last week in the dark in our trails.
Okay. Well,
Scary.
what we're going to do is we're going to bring in one of our children, Epic. He's going to sit where Lily sat because she had to hit the road. She has got to take care of a few things, so she's out. She's not offended. She didn't slam her stuff and say, "I'm out, peace out."
Hold on, the comment is worth.
Okay, I'm being interrupted by breaking news.
I guess I'm a Scot Mendenhall fanboy. That's from Kevin. Kevin,
Thank you, Kevin.
Sorry, please.
We got one.
Please intro your son.
We got one. We got the one and only Epic Mendenhall over here. How we doing, Epic?
We're doing really good. How about you guys?
Great. You had no idea that you were going to be on camera today. Good thing you put a collar on.
But you look good.
You look good, bro.
Good.
Woo!
That's
Okay,
right.
so we all ride one wheels. We got to have Epic sitting over here because when we're going to have this conversation about what's your favorite season to ride in, Holly started the year out strong and has really faded out to where pretty much her one wheel is now her daughter's one wheel. Anything to say?
That's true.
Nope, that's it. That's all. If you got an and true, that's all we needed. Moving on. Epic, however, has rode every day.
Yeah, but one.
But what? Oh,
no!
man.
I missed one day.
But
One day.
But what was that day? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember the exact day, but all I know is it was a busy day.
It was a busy day. It was the 300th day out of 366 days. So he made it 300 days straight, and then... Yeah!
Just couldn't do it.
You just went to bed and forgot.
Yeah.
It was a Vikings game, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch the Viking games. It just
On a Thursday night.
completely forgot.
Was it a Monday night? Thursday night?
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday night game.
Oh, yeah, because you would have come home.
We just came home from cross-country meet.
Straight
Yeah,
to
big
Vikings
day,
game.
and then boom, lost it, off the
That was
rails.
just not too long ago.
Yeah, Icon, who she rode 75 days consecutively and then missed her one day, but got back on. So currently they both are riding the same amount, but to make it 300 days, bro.
Yeah, well, it's not 1 year, so it's not that impressive.
So does this mean you'll
start
next
over?
year and go again and accomplish it?
We will try.
No, there's no trying. It's do or do not.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
You're going.
Some of the chat is saying you're a little nervous. You nervous to be up here with us today?
No, not
You're
really.
doing great.
At the beginning I was, but not anymore.
You're doing good. You're doing
Okay, so Epic, what's your favorite time of the year to ride through all the seasons? Spring, summer, fall, or winter?
Summer.
Why?
It's warm.
Go fast.
Yeah, and the trails, you can see all the stuff.
Oof.
So you can
That's true.
move out of the way for 'em.
Okay, there lies the issue I have. When
my gosh.
When I'm in trails, it doesn't matter.
Tallying
what,
it up, everybody. Hey,
doesn't
we're going to
matter
just
what
write down
season.
on the wall back here 100 reasons why Holly doesn't ride her one wheel. Let's
No.
hear it. This is the 100th.
No, it's not. It's only me.
Might got a
but that
splinter.
is if I were to sum up trail riding for me is difficult to see all the things. Whether it's a rock, whether it's sticks.
Well,
whether
don't
it's
close
just
your
a-
eyes.
You have taught me so well to look out farther ahead of me, and for some reason, that's trail riding for me.
I remember back in the day, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago on Friday nights, we would just take a couple mile ride. It's gone. You don't even do that anymore. She has no comment. Come on, camera switcher.
Because that's usually when you would be like, "Hey, babe, do you want to go for a ride?"
Yeah, but now you're scared again of the one wheel.
No, I'm not scared of it. Trails are just hard.
Is it the 5-inch hub that you have on there you don't enjoy?
I don't love my setup quite like what I did. There's a lot of truth to that. I don't love my setup. It works really great for historic. But I'm not as confident. And here's what it is. I'm not
Let's
a
hear
very
it.
good rider. So the S is a huge confidence booster and like stability wise because you can get up anything. So therefore the riding doesn't have to It covers a lot for me. That board covers a lot for me. When you put me on something else that I don't know how to get up the hills or things like that very well, then I get just a little bit more, I don't know, nervous about it or scared that I'll nosedive. And
Okay.
I don't run things out very well to begin with.
I think I'm with Epic. Summer is definitely one of my favorite times of the year to ride. For all the things you said, I also think a close, not that close, but the next season would be winter. I like riding in snow.
I agree. You just have to have the right tire, though.
Yes.
When you're in Minnesota, at least.
One of the biggest things, if you're brand new to this and you made it through all the drama of the front hand here, and now
well
you got
done.
it to here, you get applause from us. Woo!
Yeah.
You did it. Some practical things. Every season should have a different setup. Every terrain should have a different setup. Not meaning you got to change things out, but if you're going to ride on pavement, pump up the PSI. You can hit some off-road stuff for a while, pump the PSI, let the air out. If you're going to ride in snow, put a really thick treaded tire on there and lower the PSI down way low. More rubber, more bite, less spinning out. Currently, the setup I have, we got snow last week. I've gone flying through the trails down there, hit some wooden features, and I almost died. My board just spun right out, maxed out the speed, didn't go anywhere, but my body kept going. Great thing about when you fall off your one wheel and you hit snow, you just slide right.
You just slide.
But you had no problem. You got that burst tire, a 5-inch hub, and you got right up and over, right?
Yeah, it was really good in the snow. It almost felt like you weren't on snow, so.
Because he had so much bite, that burst tire
What's
tread.
is that your favorite one for winter?
Well, he doesn't know. That's
I
his.
don't know.
I mean,
The
that's-
Enduro's not great.
But it is
But
better than
it'll
a
do
slick.
it.
It'll do it. It'll do it.
And what do you like?
I gotta say, I think I'm gonna switch up completely, and I'm gonna put the 5-inch hub on with a Pioneer 5-inch tire because it's got that. But I've not rode that tire. I need to test that tire out to see if it will. But I don't know if a 5-inch tire, because I've never rode one in the snow very long, if that narrow of a tire is the best in snow. That wider 6.5 tire with a lot of tread on it might be like the Pioneer for that setup was 6.5 because it's a little squared out. Oh boy, that was perfect last year. And so we'll just see. We have a lot of options on our hub sizes around here to play with that. And I know not everybody does, but I think if you're going to ride in the winter, you want the 6.5 with more bite, lower the PSI, you're going to go really well. I think if you're going into the summer months, you're going on a street, you live where it's really warm all the time, 5-inch hub is the way to go. The 6-inch hub is great as well, but the 5-inch gives you another inch of just rubber for more bounce, more. It's not bounce, that's going to be a deterrent. It's going to be dampening of the vibration. It's just it's the closest thing up to date that you have as a suspension. Okay, now, Epic, when we get into these seasons, how do you ride different from, let's say, springtime to fall time? Is there a difference in the way you ride, different in the way the trails handle or the streets handle, or is it all the same?
Well, in spring in Minnesota, the snow is melting, so it's wet and can't go as fast when it's wet because you'll slip out in the mud. So you definitely ride slower in spring, but in the fall, it's about the same as the summer, just still going fast.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where you've got to think ahead. You can't I'm gonna just go smash what I got. I think one of the big difference from spring to fall is fall. You got the leaves. Holly alluded to that. Sometimes we get out in our own trails and leaf blow, but when you go to public trails
And they don't do that.
and they're not maintained, you got leaves everywhere. Now you can't see. Do you remember that last year we went and reviewed the goat tire, and we went to, I think it was Lake Sarah or Rebecca trails, and then we're riding and we can't see the holes. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because the leaves were everywhere. So I think you can't ride in fall in brand new trails to you like you would in the summer in those trails, because in the summer you see everything. In the fall, it is covered in leaves, and it just becomes a little bit more precarious. So you got to handle you got to just take these are knowledgeable things for you to understand. Same with riding in the grass, leaves holding holes that you don't know are there. Fall is beautiful time to ride, but also has its precautions in riding. You just got to be aware of the holes. Now, what makes riding at night more precarious than daytime. Ep, do you think the lights on your one wheel are enough to see through the trails? Do you ride with flashlights at night, or what's your setup?
I haven't like gone for like a mile ride at night in
What?
trails.
We've rode for hours in trails.
Well,
What is wrong with you?
No, at night I'm saying.
Yeah, at night.
I don't remember that at all.
What? You are
When?
not like
Multiple times. You've got
not like
that.
yesterday,
Yeah, I
but
know
we go
not
down there
yesterday.
and just mob at night often.
Yeah, but we haven't like gone for. Well, we know our trails. I'm not like going in other trail systems like going super fast. No, I'm not doing that. Because
Why?
I don't know the trails.
There you go.
So I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
slow
go
down.
fast.
Yeah.
But the lights on the one wheel would not be bright enough if you're by yourself.
You
I
don't.
was gonna say, Icon and I went down on the trails last week at night. I mean, it was like at 10:30, and she got away from me a little bit, and I thought I would be fine. And then I was like, yeah, it's easier when someone else is there to help, just offset a little bit, light up a little bit farther down. for
Yeah, I
you.
think the angle of the individual behind you lights up more of the where you're headed,
Now-
and so I think that changes. I think the thing with the one wheel, when riding at night in their lights, is they're not meant to be illuminating like waist up for you. It's really supposed to be what's in front of you by 10 feet. I think that's the misconception. Everybody thinks these lights on the one wheel should be so bright that I can see 10 feet up in the air. That's not what they're designed for. You do need flashlights. When we ride as all of us, 6 of us down in the trails, very much different because you have everybody behind you riding or in front of you lighting up so much. You almost don't need anything. I don't ride with a flashlight with other people, but when I'm by myself and I want to see up ahead and more like my head going to hit something, flashlight is necessary. The lights on a one wheel are sufficient for what they're created to do, which would be find the potholes, see the rocks, see the holes, see the leaves, but not for you to see a limb that's going to take your head off.
You got asked this earlier, and so I'm just gonna interject here. East 905 Skims is wanting to know: are you gonna test the 5-inch goat 6.75-inch width?
Yeah, so when a lot of times those tires are sent to us and then we try it, if they send them to us, we will always do a review. And so we don't typically just go and purchase just to give you but we're not looking for handouts. It's just when they send, we do reviews. So maybe not. Again, as the season progresses and we're a new season, we'll get tires that haven't been tested in snow because we are one of the few places that will have snow for a while. Mm-hmm. And I do think I would really like to push the sport into the snow because the one wheel can handle it. It can handle it with the melting. You just got to turn your one wheel on its side when you bring it inside so the water's not dripping into your charging port. Let it dry out 24 hours before you charge it. But there's so much fun riding on groomed trails. If you can get to fat tire bike trails and ride through there, you'll love it. If you have, like here, we have hundreds of miles of snow machine trails. We just get on those and we just go ride forever. And that is a blast. Highly groomed trails. I would not suggest riding them in the evening because you're very small and not lit up very well for these machines that are going very fast because there's no speed limits. You're in the middle of cornfields and things. Riding them in the daytime, spectacular. 1, you're seen. 2, you can see where you're going and you can see snow machines from a long distance away. And so you feel very safe and it's so much fun to ride there. We do crazy races in that because literally when you fall, the friction to brake bones is very less, so you slide everywhere, right, Epic?
Yeah, you go for
Forever,
a while,
right? It just makes it a lot of fun. You over torque your board to take off, and you'll spin out. It's just a totally different racing, our style of racing around here than what you typically get. So it is a lot of fun.
You got a couple questions coming in the chat. How much extra waterproofing do you guys do on boards during the winter?
I know people, we've never done one thing to waterproof a board. And I'm talking about from the Plus to the XR. We have never had a board not work because of a water issue. Never. But we don't just throw when we know we've been in snow, in the rain, we treat the boards different than if we just came out of dry trails every
Talk
time.
about that a lot.
Yeah,
how you let it dry
I
out
want to
before you
stress
plug
that
it
because
in.
then people get on me and give me crap for, oh, you're riding your board. I bricked my board because you told me to ride in the snow, or I didn't tell you to do anything. I'm telling you what I did and what I do and what we all do. I mean, we're talking about kids here. Epic, what's the youngest sibling that rides?
Revolution. He's 5.
6.
It's 5.
6.
Nailed it. First
Okay,
try.
well done. So anyways, you got a 6-year-old out there riding, and he rides in the snow. 5-year-old going on 6 that rides so well, and he knows to bring his one wheel in and leave the charging port down on its side. We got 8 kids riding, and none of these boards have had a water issue.
We've never had that.
No, that's what thank you for verifying what I just said.
We've never had.
And it's because of we just don't do. Now, what Holly gets frustrated with is that we have a bunch of towels around in the wintertime that are soaking up the water because it's dripping off there. But on the side,
do 3 extra loads of towels and have to buy
a new board,
wheel
right?
because it got ruined.
it's leaving it on its side so it drips off. That's it. And then 24 hours before plugging in, you plug that board in with even a speck of water in there, you're going to short circuit the board in.
It will be done.
Sorry.
Here's another one for you.
Okay, let's go.
Have you heard anything about Future Motion coming out with extended rails for BTG? Any thoughts?
I was just taking a deep drink there. I've not. Now, are you asking me for my speculations? I think that we are just at the beginning of custom rails from them. That would be my take on it. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some kind of rails hitting the market for Christmas. I think if they offered a rail, maybe along the lines that you're suggesting, where you don't have to have your board serviced to do it, I think they sell more rails. So that's just my speculation. We know they have the machines to create it. We know they have those that can try these things. It just kind of makes sense that we're going to have some more versions coming along. Here's what I would love to see in that category of things, and this is the digital tilt side of things we're talking about. I would like that Onewheel release 3 to 4 rails of their own, of the specifications that are close to the 357s, close to maybe lightning rails, close to, if they want, WTFs, or the big rails, the longer rails, to then inside the app allow me to select what rail type I have, and allows the digital tilt to not be fully customized, but I'm now saying on purpose, I want my board to ride like this. That would be somewhat of a happy medium of the digital tilt, not where you can tilt it however you want with all the degrees. You're picking the style of rails that you are going to be riding. But I think the way that comes about is they sell those versions first. I think that'd be a really cool way to do it. And I've said that for a while.
Where do their rally rails fit in? Like, that's their start?
Well, that's a
'Cause
start,
they're
but
different and unique.
Yeah, they're all they're close to other things. You know, Float Life is pretty kind to do research on what's the tilts and angles and all those things on there. They're still a little bit of their own. I think they're the closest to lightning rails. I can't remember now. Don't quote me on that. That's where I get in trouble. I know a lot. I can't remember it all because it's all up in there. And you're trying to ask me to do this on the spot.
I am.
But I think the beauty of them being able to be able to have those moments in there, it would be cool inside the app. Babe, that'll be okay. If you mess with it, it'll just keep falling. We have a light on her that's trying to make her look really pretty, and she's going to mess with it, and then it's going to launch across the room.
It's very unstable.
No, it's not. Don't
Did
say
you not
such
just
words.
see it going ring?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm seen. You're good. You're safe. And you're lit so well today. Look, I didn't.
Christmas coffee.
I know no one made comments to that.
Well, we switched.
Yeah, we did.
very
I don't.
quickly.
Oh, you know why we switched? And it was by the comment that popped up on my iPad today. I just saw it come up that somebody just dropped a comment on that video. I was like, oh, I've been quite busy. I've not read those comments.
Yeah.
And that's how we got there.
So you got, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been noticed that you're not wearing sunglasses today.
Finally somebody caught that. I don't. The truth is, we put them on when we have guests because the monitor is above, and typically when I
talking to the camera.
and now look, I look up and I don't look at you, and it feels very like I'm not connected with you. And so today you can see my eyes. You can see if they turn red in anger or not. So no guest, but we do have a guest next week. Bodie is going to be a guest next week. Already confirmed. Talked to him this morning through text. He is confirmed to be a guest next week on here. Like I'm 95% sure he's going to. Now something could change, but at the moment, 95% sure Bodie will be here.
If something came up and it didn't work, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Life happens. We're going to talk about the video he dropped last week. Oh, man, that he created such good vibes. Cruising Santa Cruz. It just has all the right vibes, I told him. It had all the right energy. It was entertaining. The riding was spectacular. Filming wonderful. So we're going to talk about all the inspiration he has had into it to create it. And I hope that's the beginning of a lot of videos from him that he's going to be creating, because I think that's in his wheelhouse. I think it sheds light into street riding. I found it very interesting the way the boards were set up. I mean, you saw everything from GTs. I don't remember if I saw a GTS in there. I might have.
No, I didn't see one. I just saw a GT.
GT.
Unless there's a GTS with GT rails on it.
Correct. That might, we don't know. But then we had a Pint S and a Pint X.
Yes.
But the GT had their fast system, their foot hook system on for some of the tricks in street riding, which I thought was pretty cool to even show how those can help street riding. Just really fun video. It has all the 90s skate video vibes that any of us from the 90s would want. He's just like, yeah, please, more of that. Create a genre. Unfortunately, that fell in this year because I feel like it would be up for an award at some of the like Float Fest or things of that. Would it be, because it had all the right vibes, but it fell on this side of 2025, so I don't think it'll make it in there
unless the racing season starts going fiscal year.
now.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a fiscal year, that's kind of for budgety stuff, but I don't know. Yeah. I think also to be noted is like back on setups and riding different terrain, different seasons. Epic, is there a season where you always have a fender on and a season you don't have a fender on? Or is that just kind of back and forth on your likings?
I always have a fender on for the way I ride. I ride my back foot super close to the fender. So if I had no fender, my foot would just get burned by the wheel.
Chewed up by the
tire. I have gotten my shoelace caught in the wheel before, and then it just shoots you off, and then you have no more shoelace. So that's what happens.
That's what happens. So he can't, honestly, though, some of his struggle is because if you're going to ride in snow, get the fender off, because the fender will bog the motor down because the snow sticks up inside the fender, and then the wheel gets too much friction going in there. And so always suggest in winter, in snow, ride without the fender. And we're talking about like powdery snow. If it's wet snow, no. But without a fender helps the board ride better. But the issue is then you're flicking the snow up onto your foot pad. That's why you need to travel with a brush, because then you can clean off your foot pads where the ice and snow will kind of get packed on there. Kind of a necessity when you're doing that. I don't like fenders. I ride with fenders more and more because I don't like mud being flipped up on my pants either. But I'd rather ride with no fender. There's just something about it. But our trails are very sandy, and it doesn't matter if it's dry or not. We just get sand all over the place, so I keep the fender on. But for sure, winter riding, fenders. If you're riding in the rain, fenders would be great. Obviously, the first is, of course it would. It protects your pants. But the truth is, it protects all that water from being flipped up and getting underneath your foot pad and all that stuff. It keeps it all in the tire, and it's just a safer ride for you. There's so many more things that we could jump into the seasonal ridings. I think in the summer months, depending where you live, summer months, you're dealing with heat. I know guys and girls in Arizona that in the summer months, they don't ride during the day. It's all in the evening, too hot, so they overheat. Yeah. And that's where all those new rails, the 357s or the skeleton rails, all of those things that have been offered up is to help the those that ride in Texas and those places that get really hot, to alleviate temperature. Cold ones from Float Life helps draw air in to cool the motor, because if you overheat, you just got to wait for it to cool down. We were on a ride with somebody riding a Vesk out in California, and they had to sit on the side of the trail for a half hour for the board to cool down, just to enable to ride it back slowly. Because if they rode too fast, it would overheat. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. There was quite a bit of people on Vesks who
It was overheating.
So, yeah, stay stocked, people. Stay stocked.
Yeah, listen, he's drank the Kool-Aid, everyone. He's drank the Kool-Aid. But again, I think even to that point, because we don't have a representation that rides Vesk around here a bunch, Vesk isn't without its issues. It's just like Flow Life, you just buy, Future Motion. You just are in on the platform like, hey, they're not perfect. There are elements that affect this differently. I got to ride differently. So every season you need to take into account how you're going to ride, what's going to be like, and change your board and set up to that. In the winter, a grippier grip tape, or in trails, a coarser grip tape, better. Street riding, you don't need that, especially because in street riding, you want to kind of move your feet around. You're not carving as much, so you need your feet to kind of be able to move around so you don't get foot fatigue as much. Those are just simple tools to help you in your journey. Okay, everybody. I think, any more comments, any more things that we need to address?
No. Garrett was just sharing that he's been building trails on his buddy's property.
Oh, really?
And so he's had some fun doing that. It's got his video out, so you guys can check that out.
Where's the video?
He posted it. He put the title of it in here. Build Onewheel Trail Building Day 1. So you could check that out, of some others building. And he had the excavators and skid steers.
Really?
Makes it much easier.
Okay, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this. Maybe we'll have you on in a couple weeks to talk about it. We're fascinated by people that build trails, because it's just a lot of creativity. It goes in, a lot of work, a lot of effort, and we want to hear your plans. Do you have a name for these trails? What are the features you're gonna put in your trails? All those good things, Garrett. We want to know these things. We want to hear how, is this a destination
and he's
spot?
supposed to get snow next week, so.
Where's he's building the trails?
Just out where he lives.
Okay, cool. Can't wait
He's
to.
not ready probably just yet. To
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging with us today. Thank you for all the comments, everything from the good, the bad, and in between. We want to be a platform where you get to talk, you get to share, drop your comments down below. Future Motion, getting to read your comments. It'd be cool if it was a little bit friendlier instead of "you all suck" and "I wish you would be unemployed." That seems a bit harsh. Somewhere in between there, don't. Because some of those feel like I'm coming for your life situation. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to you. But if you can come with a loving, respectful comment, great. Then they'll listen to it. Maybe it'll be an aha moment for me to go, oh, yeah, that's a good point. And so I always try to think about, is my comment going to put somebody on their heels, the defense, or is it going to keep them leaning in to want to hear more? So as you drop your comments, is this something they want to hear more of, or are they going to rock back and want to punch you in the face? And so thank you for being with us, Holly.
Yeah. Always good to be with you.
Epic,
guys.
thanks for sitting in, joining us. You're looking so good today.
Thanks.
Man, a few words there.
Peace, y'all.
Wow. He watches too much YouTube. Peace all. Okay.
I only watch your channel.
Oh, okay. Then there you have it. Everybody, thanks for being with us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Drop a comment on the video. We'd love to hear your thoughts. It's been a pleasure to be with you guys today. Next week, Bodie Harrison in here. Everybody, we're going to catch up with him. How's life for him? He was the first person we ever interviewed, so it's going to be fun to have the first ever interviewed person back on the YouTube channel. We haven't had him on here for over a year and a half, so he's had a lot of life happen for him. We can't wait to catch up, see if the metal's still in that little bone we call the collarbone. See how that's going, okay? We'll see him here next week with you. Come ready to fire away your questions. It'll be a conversation to end all conversations with Bodie Harrison, everybody, next week. Have a great one. Bye, everybody.